appreciate all the feedback for people. And it seems like a lot of people want the ice rink stories. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that I was going to do those. But I think what I want to do is I want to separate all the ice rink stories out instead of doing just like 1 or 2 or 3 or probably like 10 videos with just like as many stories as I can remember. And that way I think it'll be a little better for me as a personal archive that can help me to remember ice rink stories down the road. And then that way it'll also be a little more clear. So they'll be shorter whisper videos. But I think that might be better than just trying to like remember them as I go. So I'm gonna start those. I think after this I'm gonna record the first one. But for the first, right now, I just kind of want to get some whispers in. Just kind of do some rambling. Oh, how was your Thanksgiving? Question of the day. For you Americans, how was Thanksgiving? And for you people not in America, do you wish you had Thanksgiving in Europe and other places? I don't know. I think it's like America, Europe are like the two big countries that watch this channel. Maybe Canada's like 3rd or 4th. But yeah, so if you got Thanksgiving, I know Canadians have Thanksgiving. Do Europeans have a Thanksgiving? That'd be interesting. So yeah, how was your Thanksgiving? And if not, what were you thankful for this year? How about that? That's a good question of the day. For me, I am super thankful for this ASMR channel. It got me through a really tough time these last like 2 months when I broke up with my girl. Although we are officially now back together. But like that was a rough time, and like being able to talk, because you know with everything with 2020, it's like I feel like sometimes like I'll go on jobs and then I'll just be like talk like a million miles an hour, like oh there's human to interact with, because like I don't leave my apartment. I stopped playing hockey because of COVID, and like you know my girlfriend was like my lifeline, and we kind of like there was like a rift between us there the last while, and for good reason. Like I wasn't the best boyfriend that I could have been, believe it or not. I know I seem like an amazing guy, but I was, for lack of a better term, I was very much up my own ass, and I wasn't as giving, probably as I should have been. But we've resurrected that. Things so far have been going pretty good. But it's just being nice to talk to people, get some people to comment back. Like it's been like validation, and it's like oh so good. Thank you so much for you folks. And also I got monetization back on my white noise channel, and that channel ends up making quite a bit more money, and so that was helped me breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. Obviously it's not really paying many of my bills. It pays for like I have a medical debt still from my surgery in March, and between these two channels it just barely pays the monthly payment. So that's cool that I got it back though, and I don't like that's one less thing I have to worry about. That it covers like a bill, or like it covers like my power bill and my internet bill, or like my surgery bill, or my health insurance bill. Like it covers one thing. So like hey, it's a great start. I'm super thankful for Reddit, especially. There's 2 subreddits. One is called Wall Street Bets, and the other is called r/Theta Gang. And they're both about trading options, and that's something I've been getting into the last like month or so. And I've made a little bit of money, which I'm cautiously optimistic about it. That so far I've done pretty well. But also the market has gone up pretty steeply, so it's hard to lose money in a market that's just going straight up. So hopefully you folks are investing if you have the means to. I know not everybody does, so I'm super grateful that I have the means to do that I'm still getting work even in a pandemic, because I know a lot of freelancers aren't so lucky. So that's super appreciative. I'm very thankful for my girlfriend giving me a second chance, and working through stuff, patching things up. That has been has been pretty nice. I ended up having Thanksgiving with her family because my mom was worried she might have the COVID. Although how my dad told me was like, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have Thanksgiving this year because COVID and stuff, and also our oven broke. Oh yeah, by the way, your mom might have the COVID. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, she's had a fever, but we got tested, so it's okay. And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, well, we should get her test back tomorrow. And so their tests were negative. And she also has like a bladder infection, so the fever might be from that. So they were just being super cautious. But that was like on Wednesday they were like that, and I was like, oh, okay. But because me and Ashley kind of patched things up, it was nice to get back with her and get, eat dinner with her family, and that was nice and lovely. And it's nice to have that, and so grateful for that. I'm grateful for my dog Bear, as always. He's the best dog. He's sitting. He's just always chilling. Let's see if we can find him. Right there. That's him. Can you see him? Oh no! If I zoom in, it goes. He's right there. It's an all-black dog on a brown couch, so he's. Oh, but he's a great dog. I love that dog so much. Even though he frustrates the hell out of me sometimes, which is more just from like my, I don't know if it's like ADD or what. Like I definitely have something that like if I'm focused deep, and then like he can make noises sometimes, and I'm like he'll bark at things outside, and I'm just like, dude, chill. So, and then sometimes like we're taking a walk, and I don't know, I just get frustrated about things. And so I like, I'm just like, bro, come on. Especially if it's cold. Like it's cold and I'm like in my head, and then, but I'm still grateful that he's around. He makes, I can tell, because I have a weird sort of co-dog parenting situation with my ex that I got him with, and that if I ever have like a lot of work or if I'm going out of town, she'll take him. And then sometimes, she misses him, and I'll just go drop him off over there, and so he gets to have like a little party. And he gets, because she lives in a house, so he gets a nice backyard that he can run around in, and I really like that. And they have 2 other dogs, so he gets some social time, and he gets to see his cat sisters that he used to live with, his old cat roommates. And of course, he still goes nuts for my ex. Like they're still best friends, of course, because dog's gonna dog, So it's not. I'm trying to make sure he lives his best life. That's all I can say. And then what else am I grateful for? I am grateful for cameras. Always, because I look around and I'm just like, I have so much stuff, and I'm like, cameras paid for all this. Like that just like mind blowing. Always. Which is like, I have a plant. Like, I pointed a box and pushed a button, and I was able to buy a plant. That's several. I have many plants. I have like 10 plants. That's crazy. I have 3 of these. What I need 3 of them? I got cameras paid for it. I have so many pens. I have more pens than any reasonable person. I know this is only 4, but I have like, I'm not exaggerating, I probably have like 500 pens, because I'm a crazy person who's like trying to find the perfect pen. And some pens you can only get in boxes of like 12. So I've probably bought like 40 or 50 different kinds of pens to like find my perfect pen, which I think, not that one. This is one I like, is the Papermate Flare Medium, is a good felt one. And then this isn't the right one, but the Pilot G2, the .5, I think that's my jam. That's my favorite pen to write with, those 2 pens. I also like, Papermate makes one called it's an Inkjoy. It's a 4-color clicky pen, and that's really good for doing notes and ideas, because you can break off into different colors. It's not a great pen to write with, but the versatility of 4 colors, I would need to explore more 4-color pen options, because I'm all about those multicolored pens. I'm all about them productivity solutions. So, I'm grateful for pens and cameras for letting me buy a stupid amount of pens. else? I am super grateful for Nintendo Switch, Breath of the Wild. That game is fantastic. Oh man. And I'm really excited for this Scott Pilgrim game. It's getting re-released and it'll be on the Switch. It's coming out soon. I'm really excited for that. I'm grateful that's coming back because I never got to play it for the original. I didn't even know it was a thing until Edgar Wright tweeted about it, and I was like, and I'm grateful for Edgar Wright and all his amazing movies, especially Scott Pilgrim and Hot Fuzz is another amazing one. But Baby Driver, that's a good. If you haven't seen Baby Driver, go see that one. That's a great film. Oh man, I'm thankful for hockey, even though I'm not playing it right now. That has totally helped me change my life for the better. It's gotten me more in shape. It's gotten me more social, going out more, being more active. Definitely lost a lot of weight because of it. It's definitely motivated, get me back in the gym, get more flexible, get more active. All those things, all good things. What else? I had another thing, but I'm like, I just went in here, one out the other. I'm very grateful for, my productivity mentors, for lack of a better term. Jocko Willink, Ryan Holiday, James Clear would be the big three. Austin Kleon in, the sort of artistic sort of way. Steven Pressfield would be another one. Jordan Peterson a lot. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I feel like the reason why a lot of people don't like Jordan Peterson is they take a lot of his quotes out of context. And so far, all the stuff I've read, or if I talk to someone and I'm like, it's Jordan Peterson, I'll post a quote, and they're like, where's that from? And I'm like, Jordan Peterson. I'm like, I hate him. And I was like, you just admired the quote. People are flawed, generally. They're gonna say dumb things sometimes. But so far, I have found very little from Jordan Peterson that you could, really be objectable to. He's had some things that were, kind of pro-patriarchy, gender roles. But he's, a psychologist, and he's definitely older. So, you gotta think, a lot of his, if there's psychology to it, which you may not agree with, but it was at one point, kind of this is what things are, and a lot of it still holds true. I feel like when we're talking about gender fluidity and LGBT things, those I don't think have been, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think those things have been explored enough, and I still think that they're on the margins enough that if he says something like that, you can just safely disregard it as well, that doesn't apply to me, because not everything in psychology applies to everybody. And so I think the problem is he might say something like that, and rather than being well, that obviously doesn't apply to me because I'm gender fluid, and so my gender roles don't conform, which that's exactly what you are, and hey, great, more power to you. But instead, a lot of people get mad, and sometimes those people are getting mad for other people, and it's I'm an ally, and I'm going to be mad at you because you said this thing that could doesn't apply to 10% of people or less. I don't know what the LGBT numbers are. That's that number out of my butt. It could be more or less than that. But yeah, all of psychology doesn't, the same way people with anxiety disorders, things exist on a spectrum. And so, for brevity's sake, a statement that's based in generalities is not always, gonna be true. And so you can fight and argue and cancel people, or you can just ignore that and be why? I feel for all of his controversialness, it's only helped build him up. But now I've spent 5 minutes talking about how controversial this person who I don't think is controversial is. So maybe I'm contributing to the problem. Who knows? Anyway, what else am I super grateful for? Energy drinks, even though I'm trying to quit them again. I'm getting off the horse. I had I think hopefully my last one this morning. They're hard to quit. I'm addicted. I'm doing it. I admit it. Like I was having a bad morning. I went and bought one, and like just buying it turned my mood around. And I was like, fuck, I'm addicted for sure. Because I had definitely some kind of dopamine reward system from just buying and opening one and taking a sip. So Daddy's gotta get off the juice again. Because my blood pressure was up at the doctor the other day, and I'm like, that's really the only big thing I've changed. So I need to get off those. So I'm getting. Like tomorrow I'm gonna have a good pizza day, and I'm just gonna get then Monday back on that. I don't know if I'm gonna go straight into fasting or if I'm gonna be doing like a lot of chicken, vegetables, meal prep kind of sort of pseudo things. Just getting right back in that healthy game. And my workouts have been, not that I've still been filling my rings every day, but I'm just not. The intensity isn't there. Since I've stopped playing hockey, it's like slowly been going down. Because hockey was, I could have these like mediocre, lower intensity workouts because 3 times a week I was going like full out high intensity playing hockey. But right now I'm not doing that, so it's like, okay, I gotta replace that, and it's hard to motivate me to get going super hard unless I can be competitive. So part of me wishes, I'm just like, screw it, I should just go play hockey again. But then I'm like, no, this is like the worst of the worst. Like if it was here when I decided I'm not playing hockey, it's like up here now. So I'm like, okay, don't, just because you're missing it and you're stir crazy, like maybe find a safe way to go. And so I really hope it gets cold soon, and maybe I can go play, on the lake or something. Because then I'm outside, it's real ventilated, and, I could stay pretty clear of people, but still get the ice time in. That might be an option, but I think it was 40 degrees today in almost December in Nebraska, so I think the weather patterns are definitely changing here in Nebraska, and winter starts later and goes longer, because we had a big snowstorm in May this year. Or was that last year? That might have been last year. But it was like a huge snowstorm. It was a blizzard. And so it's like, okay, well, obviously the weather patterns have been shifting because of global warming. Like, this is a thing. It's real. Deal with it. I'm super thankful for, both my little brother and my friend Alex, who give me, untold amounts of free personal training advice in exchange for me answering 2 or 3 marketing questions for them every month, if that, or photography or audio visual. But I bug them 3 or 4 times a week. It was hey, here's a dumb question. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that YouTube exists, that you could just go look stuff up where you're I have a question, and there's 100 videos that answer that specific question. You're just what? How did people do things before the internet? That's crazy to me. Thankful for water. Gotta stay hydrated. Although I have been reading about copper. Drinking water out of copper, it's better for you, maybe. I don't know if that's just some things where it's oh yeah, it's 0.00002% better for you. But I also drink a lot of water, so maybe I should look into some copper mugs or something. I don't know. I probably should change the water filter in my fridge. You're supposed to change it every 3 months. And I've changed it 0 times in the 3 years I've lived here. So I might get on that. And I'll bet you that water would taste a lot better. So there's that. What else am I super grateful for? I don't know. I think I'm running out of things to be. I'm always grateful for movies. For Kevin Smith movies especially. Super grateful for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's what's playing right now on the TV. Oh, wrong way. Got that Brooklyn Nine-Nine on there. Nice. Yeah, I just like having stuff, images play. I feel like Bear watches it. Although right now he's watching me. Because I think he heard his name a couple times. But he'll just sit and watch the moving pictures. So, I like to give him something to do. Although I think I've created a lazy monster, spoiled dog who, requires food. If I'm eating it, he needs a taste, and if I leave the apartment, he needs to have something to watch on TV. I've created a monster, but whatever, man. I'm just trying to make sure he lives his best life. So, yeah, those are. I mean, there's a lot of things, but I'm grateful for a lot. This year has been ugly, and it has been a monster. And I found out I had diabetes. I got part of my toe chopped off. I went through a pretty not fun breakup. Got that back together. I made a good amount of money in the stock market, was able to put some money in, surprisingly, although I do need to take a lot of it out to pay my taxes. I do owe quite a bit of taxes for this year. It's just the downside of being freelance is that no one takes the taxes out, you gotta pay them yourself. And so the first 2 payments I didn't pay, because I was like, I don't know if, what's gonna happen, so I'm gonna hold my money like a dragon. And now I'm like, okay, now I can probably go pay those. And so that might mean pulling some of this. Well, it would be more than I've made in the stock market to pay the tax, but so it goes, right? It's been an ugly year. It's been a lonely year. And I think, as always, you gotta just find the wins. You gotta find the things that you can hold on to. And you just gotta hang on and get through it, and start strategizing on how you can start pushing the needle, start pushing it the other way. What can I do? What are some small things I can grab onto? Just climb, just start one step at a time. Figure out where you want to be, figure out what it's going to take to get there, figure out what you can do every single day. Celebrate those small wins, but not in a huge way. Just, take time, take stock, take a moment, feel good about it, and then keep working. I think that's all any of us can do. So, as always, I hope you're doing well, and if not, I hope that changes for you. And if there's anything I can life coach you through, give some advice, drop a comment down below. Let's chat about it. Appreciate you folks. Thanks for sticking around. And I'm gonna keep making videos for you, so you can get some sleep, then you can wake up and you can crush it, and we all will achieve our dreams, and we'll be super awesome, and we'll rule the world, or at least be happy. That's a pretty good consolation prize, I think. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.